Hello and welcome. My name is Alan and we are back with more news and politics this time for Monday, July the 3rd. So yeah, let's get into this. We're starting off with some graphics here. First, we're going to show the homicide rate for Europe. And you'll notice all of them's fairly low except Ukraine. Ukraine's a bit high, but there is a war and stuff going on there. So, see, I think this is Austria. What? Slovenia? Something like that? Czechia? It's a bit high, but the rest are in the light green colors, which you can see is the low end. The darker green you get, the better off you are as a nation. So you can see Spain, Portugal, Italy, Germany, you know, your Scandinavian countries do pretty well. The Netherlands, Belgium, Switzerland, so yeah. Now, let's look at the US and Canada as an example. Alright. Now again, as a reminder, dark green, light green, white, I mean that's okay. Once you start getting into the tans and yellows and oranges, you getting up there in death rates. This is per 100,000. Black, yeah, it gets really bad at that point. But Alaska, kind of mid-road. Yukon Territory, a dark red. I think it's Nunavut Territory. It's, again, middle of the road. Innu. Yeah. Anyway, those are the territories. British Columbia, great place to live. It's a darker green. Over the middle, you see it gets a little sketchy in Saskatoon, and even Manitoba's a lighter green. The rest of Canada, really nice. Yeah. Quebec, it's a wonderful, probably the safest place in Canada. Wow, Ontario's, again, kind of like British Columbia, a nice green color. So they're pretty safe. Ontario is where Toronto and Montreal. I'm not sure. I want to say Montreal, but I know Toronto is there. And British Columbia is where Vancouver is. But now let's look at the U.S. Yeah. overall, this area, Oregon, Idaho, not too bad. But, I mean, population-wise, it's not overly dense either. Of course, neither is Montana, but it's about middle of the road. California, middle of the road. Nevada, middle of the road. Arizona, you're getting a little darker. New Mexico, bright orange. And then here's the fun part. Look at the red and oranges as we get over. I mean, the plains, North Dakota, South Dakota's got some murder. Nebraska, Kansas is moderately safe. Oklahoma gets a lot more dangerous. And Texas, yeah. But look at Louisiana. Black. It is deadly to live in Louisiana. I mean, the South in general, surprisingly, with all you hear of Florida, you would think it'd be much deeper red, but no, it's just kind of middle of the road. But yeah, look at this. Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Missouri, deadly. I mean, this is per 100,000, so the murders are up there. Orange in North Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Illinois. Maryland, surprisingly. Virginia, West Virginia, you know, a little over middle of the road. It's like, okay, much safer places to live than their neighbors, except D.C. D.C. is not bad. It's a pretty safe territory. You get up here, Pennsylvania's orange. New Jersey's pretty safe. New York's about middle of the road. Connecticut, Rhode Island's fairly safe. Massachusetts, Vermont, safer. New Hampshire. Look how safe New Hampshire is. But again, it's one of those. Population's not very dense. So not often you have that many homicides. Maine's pretty safe. Yeah. In the South, your safest place, Virginia, West Virginia, and D.C. By all means, that's where you should move to if you want to live in a safe place on the East Coast, or go much further north up into New Jersey, New York, and the New England coastline here. Otherwise, Florida, it's all right. But yeah, if you want to look at the most dangerous places in the country to live, this section right here: Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, South Carolina. You know, places you really affiliate with that backwards mentality at times. And it's some of the most dangerous locations in the U.S. by and far. They often claim, you often hear Fox News and other right-wing networks claiming, look how dangerous these cities are, but look how dangerous these are. Now, Illinois, I'd say most of it probably comes from Chicago. Because after you get outside that, it does pretty well. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at the next story here. If I can get it to load up properly here. Yeah, this is from NBC News. Maryland man steals a forklift from Lowe's and fatally mows down a woman at Home Depot. Bryce Caleb Timothy Brown, 20, of Waldorf, charged with first-degree murder, accused of killing 73-year-old Christine Pinckney. Maryland man was charged with first-degree murder after allegedly stealing a forklift from Lowe's and then running over a woman with it in the nearby parking lot of a Home Depot. Officers responded to the report of a burglary and theft in progress at Lowe's at about 12:40 a.m. Sunday. The suspect, Bryce Caleb Timothy Brown, 20, of Waldorf, broke into the business, stole a forklift, and rammed it through the rear gates, according to the sheriff's office. Brown then drove the forklift to a Home Depot, which was about half a mile northeast of Lowe's, where he rammed a vehicle in the store's parking lot. Inside the vehicle, the sheriff's office said, was a sleeping 73-year-old Glorstein Pinckney of Waldorf, whom Brown did not know. She woke up, got out of the car, and began running away. Brown followed her, struck her with the forklift, and ran her over, then stole the victim's car and fled. So apparently he didn't even know who she was. Does it say if he was high or... I mean, what caused him to do that? If he wasn't familiar with who she was, why would you run her over? Activists, this is from AP News. Activists spurred by affirmative action ruling challenge legacy admissions at Harvard. Good, that's what should be challenged. Because that just deals with, hey, let's get in kids or family members of former members of our school, which are usually white, rich, spoiled kids. Legacy admissions need to be fucking banned to be allowed just because of our relations of former students. From the soapbox, the Supreme Court doesn't care that the gay wedding website case is based on fiction. Yeah, turns out a lot of their parts of the case turned out to be complete and utter bullshit. If the Supreme Court persists in making rulings based on fiction, how can we take any ruling seriously? Certainly, this is not a sentiment uniquely inspired by a limited to the opinions, or inspired by or limited to the opinions the court has issued in the latest term, which ended today with rulings on anti-discrimination law and student debt relief. One of the cases handed down today was brought by a Christian website designer who wants to reject the business of same-sex couples who have in fact never sought her services and may have been invented. So yeah, complete and utter bullshit, as the right wing tends to do. But yeah, New Republic, this was an opinion piece. But still, it rings so fucking true. You bring up, yeah, fraud justice, anti-LGBTQ decision based on a fake case showcases the Supreme Court's illegitimacy. This is from Salon. Yeah, far-right lawyers created a phony victim in made-up case, and the justice with the stolen seat wrote the opinion. So yeah, complete and utter bullshit. University of Chicago Press journals, understanding cross-country differences in health status and expenditures. Health prices matter. Using a great equilibrium, the abstract just reads, using a great equilibrium heterogeneous agent model featuring health production, we quantify the contribution of health prices in explaining cross-country differences in health expenditures and health status. Considering other country-specific explanatory factors, U.S. health prices are estimated to be 33% higher than those of European countries. This price differential explains more than 60% of the difference in health expenditures and more than half of the differences in health status between Europe and the United States. Despite its large impact at the aggregate level, these price differences increase the lifetime cost of living of Americans by 2 percentage points. So, in other words, because the cost of healthcare in the U.S. is so much more, it makes the ability to live a decent life that much tougher because the prices are that much more of a burden. This is from DecaHerald.com. Climate nears point of no return as land and sea temperatures break records. In India, one of the most climate vulnerable regions, deaths were reported to have spiked as a result of sustained high temperatures. The largest of keeping long-term global warming, or the target of keeping long-term global warming within 1.5 degrees or 1.5 degrees Celsius or 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit is moving out of reach, climate experts say, with nations failing to set more ambitious goals despite months of record-breaking heat on land and sea. As envoys gathered in Bonn in early June to prepare for this year's annual climate talks in November, average global surface air temperature was more than 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels for several days, and the EU-funded Copernicus Climate Change Service said. And I know we've been having severe heat waves in Texas where people have been dying. So yeah, we're having it in other locations. Warming climate linked to increased domestic violence in India, Nepal, Pakistan, according to a study. Yeah. We have basically bit over, taken the rod of stupidity and shoved it up our ass. Anyway. Let's watch some videos. Armed transphobe in Eugene, Oregon attempts to intimidate folks at a pride festival and fails.
What? The other one is, why did you come out here with a gun and a bulletproof vest on?
I would be more than happy to answer that question. See, drag is inherently sexual.
Oh, a Kafka?
No. This paintball gun What's the other guy? Huh? What's the other guy? 16320. I'm 17, but they might have no protection light. Up to you guys. I can walk around here until you guys are done, please. Or I can get a picture of you guys to speak space only. Oh, they're all bad.
You don't believe in anything. It's sport. You don't have an ideology. You don't believe in anything. Like, this is sport. You do this to, like, brownie points for yourself. Like, you write a joke and get it, but you don't believe in it. Okay? Like, can you describe it to me? Libertarian. Libertarian. Can you describe it for one last time?
Yeah, I don't see. As long as you don't mix it, I don't think so. You want to go to drugs in your house, knock yourself out. You want to be trans, knock yourself out. You want to identify as any of the, whatever you guys want to identify as, put it that way. Go ahead. I don't care. I really do not care.
Okay,
What?
all inherently sexual. How is drag inherently sexual? It's not inherently sexual. No, there's not. How is it sexual?
Inherently sexual.
So cross-dressing is sexual.
See? These dipshits don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. They're just fed this bullshit by the right-wing talking heads. And, they have no proof. But, oh, I heard it! So it's gotta be true! My sources would never lie to me! Wow. Such bullshit. You know, people out there are just minding their own business, and these fuckheads, because they're told, oh, trans are a threat to the kids because they're inherently sexual. And so these lunatics who have no real penis come out armed to the teeth with a gun, and it's like, I'm just here to, you know, I don't care, but what you're doing is inherently sexual. No, it's not. God damn, you're a fucking idiot. Just waving around a trans flag, and look what the police do. Not being a nuisance or anything, and the police are just like, he's a threat! Take him down! Wow. He's got a flag! Take him down! I wonder if they didn't shoot him saying they thought it was a gun. I swear. The stupidity. It burns! Ascension stops nurses from returning to work after they protested for a day. Oh my God!
We're in Austin. We had a great historic strike yesterday, good turnout. We're back here at work this morning, ready to return to work and take care of our patients. Good morning. Good, great. We're here to take care of our patients. Yeah, I've been doing this for 15 years. I have my master's in nursing, just want to go take care of my patients.
Why are you doing this to us? Why are you retaliating against us for striking for one day?
We did that for the safety of our patients. Hey guys, let's go. Tell our community what they really care about here.
We showed up for work.
We're ready to take care of our patients, and this is Ascension who did this.
It's on y'all.
So Ascension locked us out of the hospital for 3 additional days. We went and confronted them and let them know that we're here ready to take care of our patients, and they'd rather put our patients at risk and have nurses that don't know our facility staff the hospital for the remaining of the time. So this is really unfortunate because we want our patients to be safe. They're safer with us, and Ascension clearly doesn't understand that.
We'll be back. 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 We'll be back.
Corporate fucks like this Ascension can go fuck themselves. As individuals, they have a right to express themselves, to protest, by all means. Just because you may disagree with what they protest over, it don't fucking matter. That's the right as individuals. Fuck corporations like that. Alright, yeah, now we're getting into the Israeli attack on a territory in Palestine. Like I said, people of Israel I have no qualms with. It's the government of Israel who are being pieces of shit. You know, fuck the government of Israel. The people, I have no qualms with. You know, this is more footage of that. I think this is at the entrance to a hospital in Palestine, in the town Benin, that they're going after. They call them, their military, the Israeli Defense Force. No, it's the Israeli Terrorist Force. Should be the ITF instead of the idea. I wonder if they would have allowed this to happen, the Israelis back into that region of the world, if they knew this was going to be the situation, that they would basically tell the Palestinians to go fuck themselves. Replay here. Yeah. They've killed at least 6 Palestinians, injured hundreds more. They're probably even higher at this point. Like I said, no qualms with the Israeli people. It's the government that's a fucking piece of shit. And this is the last one we're going to watch today. 3 riot policemen detain a young woman in Moscow for handing out pin buttons that said opinion is not a crime.
Я просто фиксирую, что мне не назвали причины моего задержания. И причем сказали вслух, что меня задерживают. Основания для задержания не сказали. Я это фиксирую.
Opinion is not a crime. Although I know many people who would prefer to make it an actual crime. And those are the kind of people we do not need in this world. They are evil. But anyway, just thought I'd go over some of the news and politics for Monday, July the 3rd. As always, educate thyself, think, read, study, learn. Someone tries to tell you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll be putting my sources in the description box below the video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all the next one. Oh, goodness. Until then. Later.